Chapter 19. The Energetic Ceiling on Your Reality. Principle. Self-worth is your energetic ceiling, determining the limits of what you can materialize in reality. You can have high aspirations, but with a low self-worth, those aspirations will always feel out of reach despite all you do. How can you materialize something of which you do not feel worthy? Many do not realize that unconsciously they do not feel deserving of what they desire, and so it never finds them. If you see yourself as unworthy, how else can the universe see you? You do not rise to the heights of your desires. You fall to your level of self-worth. Unconsciously, an individual with low self-worth will not see themselves as worthy of their desired reality. Despite having the right intentions and striving for their desired reality, they have a ceiling above which they cannot go. It does not matter how much an individual deserves a particular reality. They cannot reach above the level of their self-worth. The more self-worth you have, the higher the ceiling on what you can materialize, and the less you're confined. The less self-worth you have, the lower the ceiling on what you can materialize and the more you're confined. Individuals with high self-worth are limitless, while individuals with low self-worth are limited. The mistake that most make is allowing their self-worth, which is internal, to be determined by the external. As humans, we typically derive self-worth from others' opinions of us or our successes, worthy, and failures, unworthy. The universe will never give you more than what you know you deserve. Self-worth ultimately determines what you know you deserve, not what you believe you deserve. The two are often mistaken. You may believe you deserve better, yet it doesn't arrive, not because you don't believe it, but because you don't know it. Self-worth isn't about belief, it's about knowing. Belief lives in the conscious mind, but reality responds to the subconscious, and the subconscious speaks in emotion. Knowing transcends belief because it's emotional and embodied. The universe reflects not what you consciously believe you deserve, but what you've emotionally experienced. The most emotionally intense moments, whether positive or negative, imprint the subconscious and define your baseline of worth. This is what sets your frequency or state of consciousness. An individual can believe they deserve prosperity, but due to their emotionally intense experiences with suffering, their subconscious mind only knows suffering, unfortunately leading to the materialization of suffering. An individual can believe they deserve wealth, but due to their emotionally intense experiences with poverty, their subconscious mind only knows poverty, unfortunately leading to the materialization of poverty. An individual can believe they deserve a healthy, loving relationship, but due to their emotionally intense experiences with toxic relationships, their subconscious mind only knows toxic relationships, unfortunately leading to the materialization of toxic relationships. An individual can believe they deserve abundance, but due to their emotionally intense experiences with scarcity, their subconscious mind only knows scarcity, unfortunately leading to the materialization of scarcity. Until your self-worth matches your desired reality, you will vibrationally self-sabotage its materialization without even knowing it. To the universe, what you deserve is what you have emotionally experienced. An individual who desires love but feels undeserving of love will vibrationally self-sabotage whether directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously. An individual who desires respect but feels undeserving of respect will vibrationally self-sabotage whether directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously. An individual who desires appreciation but feels undeserving of appreciation will vibrationally self-sabotage whether directly or indirectly, consciously or unconsciously. Your frequency speaks before you do. Knowing is determined by what you have experienced internally, emotionally, and intensely. The epicenter of self-worth is the annoying law of the universe we touched upon earlier. You can only have what you already have. To deserve better, you must intensely and emotionally know better. To deserve love, you must intensely and emotionally know love. To deserve wealth, you must intensely and emotionally know wealth. Anything you do not know will never grow. Anything you believe is what you ultimately fail to achieve. It seems frustrating that what we deserve is what we have experienced intensely and emotionally, especially when we have gone through adversity, pain, and suffering. However, this presents an opportunity. Since the mind cannot distinguish between reality and imagination, this allows you to alter what you subconsciously know, altering what you think you deserve, which lifts your self-worth, which eventually leads to your energetic ceiling being lifted. All you need to do is internally cultivate an experience that is so emotionally intense that it becomes real to the mind. By doing so, you can overwrite what you know, which overwrites what you deserve, which overwrites your self-worth, which overwrites the ceiling. Until self-worth is detached from the external, it will be attached to an illusion. And so long as it is attached to an illusion, it will not be grounded in truth. Self-worth is attached to the external in two main ways. 1. Dependency on others. 2. Dependency on successes and failures. These two external dependencies are ultimately what shapes self-worth, indirectly shaping the energetic ceiling one has. Most people live their lives having their self-worth determined by other people. The more approval, validation, and recognition that you get from others, which is the external, the more we feel worthy. This can come in the form of accolades, compliments, or approval from others, which have the ability to either increase or decrease your self-worth. If others can increase or decrease your self-worth, then they are controlling your frequency, ultimately controlling your reality. Many fail to realize this. Self-worth is an energetic ceiling. If people possess the power to determine your self-worth, they determine the limits of what you can materialize in reality. How many allow their self-worth to be dependent on others? Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Lao Tzu. The idea of not caring what people think is often seen in a negative light, but that's a misunderstanding. Whether positively or negatively affected, a door is opened. True freedom means being unattached to both their criticism and their praise. To detach from your self-worth being dependent on others, you must realize that nobody will ever see the real you. The idea of being emotionally swayed by what others think is pointless if you understand the nature of reality. Understand that people don't see you as you are. They see you as they are. Even when they try hard, they're not seeing you. They're seeing you through their own frequency, their own tinted lens. Alternatively, nobody cannot see you beyond their preconceived notion of you. Ultimately, their minds will filter out and dismiss anything that does not align with that preconceived of notion of you. What people think is based on where they are vibrationally, and if they aren't in a vibration that you wish to be compounded into frequency, then materialized as reality, why do you care? Validation and approval aren't the issue. The issue is the external reliance on them. Practical. The moment you become internally reliant, you become independent of reality. This is true freedom, to be free from reality dictating your internal self. Validation and approval must come from within, and only within. You must use your imagination to cultivate an internal experience that intensely stimulates feelings of approval and validation. That can be a scene or the sounds of people praising you, appreciating you, honoring and respecting you. Use the technique prescribed. In doing so, you detach from external reliance and you alter what you know, altering what you deserve and ultimately what you're able to materialize. Seeking validation and approval from others means you lack it from yourself. Through utilizing the mind to create experiences in which you are validated and approved of within, you set in motion for it to materialize without. What you desire from the world is what you must give yourself before the world gives it to you. Moving on to successes and failures, the other way in which we derive our self-worth. To adhere to the concept of success and failure is to unconsciously and vibrationally subject yourself to the illusion of polarity. The mind that sees two instead of one is separated, and to be separated internally is to be separated externally. Success can prompt intense feelings of pleasure, accomplishment, and satisfaction, which seems harmless. But by allowing the external to take you to the heights of happiness, you unknowingly open the door for it to take you down to the lows of sadness. Failure can prompt intense feelings of pain, disappointment, and dissatisfaction, the heights of pleasure and the lows of displeasure, the heights of euphoria and the lows of dysphoria. Without realizing it, you have made your internal dependent on the external. Without realizing it, you have empowered the external and made yourself powerless. Without realizing it, you have now subjected yourself to reality's emotional roller coaster, rising high whenever it desires positive energy or plunging low when it desires negative energy. You need to transcend seeing life as a series of successes and failures. Detach from those labels, and you will energetically detach from the vibratory effects of those labels. Through labeling reality, we attribute meaning. When we attribute meaning, we attribute emotion. When we attribute emotion, we attribute frequency. When we attribute frequency, we attribute reality. Labels are part of our perception, which ultimately leads to our projection, and to perceive something as lost is to project the meaning, emotion, of loss into your reality. When loss causes your self-worth to take a hit, that is only due to the meaning that you have attributed to that loss. Over time, if consistently repeated, this leads to our self-worth diminishing. There are no wins and losses, everything is one. There are no successes and failures, everything is one. Categorizing some things as wins and others as losses is the source of your separation, which is the source of your limitation. See everything you experience as a win and only a win. By doing so, you transcend the duality of losses, the meaning of losses, the emotions of losses, the perception of losses, and finally, the projection of losses. You only perceive a win, so inevitability, all conditions, circumstances, and events of reality only project a win. To label loss is to create a detour from your desired reality. When you awaken to the truth that all paths on the journey to your desired reality are created by you, then you stop creating multiple paths and only follow one. Reaching your destination becomes not just possible, but inevitable. When you are the source of your self-worth, the world can never take anything from you.